Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Richard, with Nightmares Anyone. So today it's Thursday, May 21st. It is in the upper 90s here in Sacramento. It is so frigging hot. It's now about 2:15 in the afternoon. I'm drinking an ice cold, yes, ice cold chair wine, thanks to my friend Tammy Ellis. If you guys have never had one, oh my God. So, I guess it's an East Coast thing. It's been around since 1917. But I know it's been 3 weeks since I've done a review, but I've been super busy. Been having some medical issues I'm seeing a lot of doctors about. But I'm going to talk to you guys about 8 books. Yeah, 8 books that I have read or listened to over the last 3-4 weeks. And hey, do you want to read them or do you want to skip them? They're perfect for, a couple of them are perfect for summer. Come right back after the intro. Hey, welcome back, you guys. So it's me, Richard. First off, before I get into these reviews, you guys who have read horror, well, not as long as I have, but for a long time, probably know who the author Ken Yulo is. I've talked to you guys about him before. He wrote, well, these are my 5 favorite books by him. The Brownstone series, which has the Brownstone, the Bloodstone, Deathstone, and then Nocturnal, Ghost of Veronica Gray. But I want to talk to you guys about something I just sent him. I had been working on a reproduction of this book cover right here, The Brownstone, as a diamond painting. Now, those of you that don't know what a diamond painting is, you guys, well, I'll pop up a picture here. I've got a lot of them. I've done, God, probably 45, 50 of them. But this is my Pennywise. But I wanted to do, he had sent me a box, and I opened it a couple months ago. I know I still got to show you guys what he sent me. Larry Yance, Tammy Ellis. A lot of you have been saying, you know, what did Ken send you? I haven't. I did open it. I haven't shared it with you guys. I've just been super busy. But I wanted to tell him thank you in a special way. So I did him a diamond painting of the reproduction of the Brownstone. He lives in Florida. He got it yesterday, and we talked for like 40 minutes last night, and he absolutely loved it. So I'm going to pop up a picture right here. This is how it came out. It came out really cool, but you have to see these. But yeah, so I'm glad he got that. I will be, I'll probably do that in the next video. I'll show you guys what he sent me in this box, but we're going to go over these 8 books. Now, I wrote when I read these or listened to them, a lot, I think like 4 or 5, maybe 5, or maybe even 6 were audiobooks. So I did listen to them. I didn't read them. But let's get into these. So I'm going to read you, I'm not going to go into reviews of each and every book. I'm just going to read you the synopsis on the back cover and then what I thought about it and what my rating was. But the first one was, this is the one, this was horrible. I don't know how this book got so many massive reviews. Now, you guys know that when I do a review on this channel, this is my opinion only. I don't need to be attacked. You don't need to say, oh, you're fucked up, you're stupid, you don't know good horror, blah, blah, blah. I've been reading horror for 55 years. Yeah, I have been. And these are just my opinions. These are just my opinions of what I thought of these books. Now, this is the one that, well, I'm going to show you the book. Let me grab it right here. And this is kind of another example. This is the diamond painting bookmark that my friend Cindy Bennett sent to me. She made this and sent this to me. But yeah, this is in my book. So this book, you guys, a lot of you guys love this book. It's cool. This came out in October 2017. It's got 416 pages. I've been reading this book for 2.5 months. It is so fucking slow. Out of the 416 pages, I'm on page 223 and I'm DNFing it. I am so fed up with this book. It's Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. I'm going to read you on the back what it says it's about. At the end of a dark prairie road, nearly forgotten in the Kansas countryside, is the Finch house. For years it has remained empty, overgrown, abandoned. Soon the door will be open for the first time in decades. But something is waiting, lurking in the shadows, anxious to meet the new guests. When best-selling horror author Sam McGarver is invited to spend Halloween night in one of the world's most infamous haunted houses, he reluctantly agrees. At least he won't be alone. Joining him are 3 other masters of the macabre, writers who have helped shape modern horror. But what begins as a simple publicity stunt will become a fight for survival. The entity they have awakened will follow them, torment them, threatening to make them a part of the bloody legacy of Kill Creek. It was supposed to be a simple publicity stunt, 4 famous horror authors spending the night in one of the world's most notorious haunted houses. So it was put out by Launchpad. Here's the author. Here's Scott Thomas. Wow. I'm DNFing this. It is so damn slow. I don't like the 4 characters. I cannot stand the female one. I can't even think of her name right now. Her last name is Moore. I can't think of her first name. This book is so slow. I'm halfway through it and nothing still has happened. So yeah, I'm DNFing it. I gave it a 1.5 for the cover. The cover is pretty cool. It's got the 2 Finch sisters up there. If he would have expanded the ghost story of the Finch sisters, it would have been a great book. But it just didn't go there. Yeah, I gave it 1.5 stars. The next one I'm going to do, wow, was this one. I don't have the physical book. I listened to it. This is Dear Hannah by Zoe Stage. Now, she was the author of Baby Teeth. It's the only other book that I've read by her, and I loved it. Gave it 4 stars. This came out August 13th of 2024. It's got 331 pages. I gave it 2 stars. I did finish it. It was boring. It wasn't, after reading Baby Teeth and loving it, this just, I don't know. I'll read the back cover. This is what it says it's about. And this is what it was about. Zoe Stage delivers another knockout with a blood-chilling follow-up to international sensation Baby Teeth, taking readers back into the unsteady world of a young sociopath who's all grown up. Hannah is no stranger to dark thoughts. As a young child, she tried to murder her own mother, but that was more than 16 years ago, and extensive therapy and writing letters to her younger brother has since curbed those nasty tendencies. Now 24, Hannah is living an outworldly, normal life of domestic content. Married to real estate agent Jacob, she's also stepmother to his teenage daughter, Joelle. They live in a beautiful home, and Hannah loves her career as a phlebotomist, a job perfectly suited to her occasional need to hurt people. Yeah, so that's a different way to think of your phlebotomist that draws your blood, and I have my blood drawn like every 3 or 4 months. My phlebotomist is really, really cool. I really, really like her. But when Joelle begins to change in ways that don't suit Hannah's purposes, her carefully planned existence threatens to come apart. With life slipping out of her control, Hannah reverts to old habits, determined to manipulate the events and people around her. And the only thing worse than a baby sociopath is a fully grown one. With its dark humor and chillingly seductive protagonist, Dear Hannah is a standalone sequel, sure to thrill returning and new readers alike. The average rating is a 3.6 out of 5. I gave this 2 1/4. Now, if Stage would have taken this into a really dark, demented world, but the black humor and the comedy, the way that she uses it in this book, just didn't work for me. It ruined the whole, it ruined the whole scariness of the book. So the next one I'm going to talk to you guys about, you guys are going to be surprised because there's one on here that is a classic, and it's my 4th read, the first time listening to it. But the next one I read, once again, a lot of you have read this, a lot of you have loved it. So this is 2025. This came out April 22nd, a little over a year and a month ago, of 2025. It has 304 pages. This is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. Now, this is the author of The Nestlings, which is a book that I read last year, and I gave it a 5-star all the way. I loved that book. Okay. I'm going to pop up the audiobook cover because I did listen to it. Here's what the book, here's the book description. One night, Jess, a struggling actress, finds a 5-year-old runaway hiding in the bushes outside of her apartment. After a violent, bloody encounter with the boy's father, she and the boy find themselves running for their lives. As they attempt to evade the boy's increasingly desperate father, Jess slowly comes to a horrifying understanding of the butchery that follows them. The boy can turn his every fear into reality. That'd be kind of cool. And when the wolf finally comes home, no one will be spared. Okay, the average rating for this book is a 4.08 out of a 5. Wow. I'll give you my rating. Wow. I DNF'd this one at 43%. Skip it, you will not be missing anything. One big so what? Yeah. I didn't get it. I thought it was stupid. This boy, or this kid, is so annoyingly obnoxious, and Jess is so dumb. She's just this stupid character that I didn't care. I DNF'd it. I didn't like it. The next one I'm going to go over is, oh God. Okay, let's just do them in order. So on May 6th and the 7th, I listened to this one, Dig, by J.H. Markert. It came out March 24th of this year. It's got 352 pages. Oh my God. So this is by the author of Sleep Tight and The Lullaby Man and those books. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to read to you what... Okay, so the average rating of this on Goodreads is a 3.86. I'm going to read to you the book description. This is actually from the back of the book. I do have the book. It's right up there. I just listened to it because it came across as an audiobook available to me, so I did listen to it. It says, the soil on Crow Island holds secrets, and they're ready to be unearthed. J.H. Markert returns with a surreal horror novel, perfect for fans of Graveyard Shift and What Moves the Dead. Heard of Graveyard Shift, never heard of What Moves the Dead. 8 years ago, a boy took up an axe and slaughtered a dozen people. That odd trouble boy, Jericho Dodd, has been dead and buried in his father's yard for years, but ever since that massacre, it was on 4th of July. Crow Island has been a dark and unsettling place. When Jericho's father begins digging up the past he buried, a compulsion to dig sweeps over the island, and soon everyone else is obsessively churning up dirt, desperate to uncover buried secrets. The compulsion leads to violence, and as the neighbors turn against each other, the island's famous Tupelo honey, harvested from trees deep in a swamp, changes too. As dread and paranoia seep up from the ground, it becomes clear that the island itself needs something from its residents before it digs itself apart for good. Be careful what you unearth from the dirt before this surreal horror novel can worm its way into you too. Okay, I'm gonna read you what I said. I said, I hope that J.H. Markert continues writing these creepy as hell books as he writes more and more of these books under his new genre, horror. Of fiction, I am loving these. This was and will remind you of the tale of Candyman and of small village folk horrors that lie in places like Harvest Home, Cornwall Coombe. Remember from Harvest Home, Thomas Tryon? Yeah, one of the best small town folk horror novels I've ever read. This story has to do with an island off of Georgia called Crow's Island, which is a place where there is not a single crow. Yeah, you tell me that one. But there is a story of the boo hags and blue bottles, and it is a story you will not forget. I highly recommend it, as I have his past 4 others I have read, and I loved them. 5, caw, caw, caw. This book was fucking disturbing. When you find out what a boo hag is, and I found out by calling my friend Tammy Ellis, who lives in North Carolina. She knew what a boo hag was. She knew what a blue bottle was. But this book is creepy. This book is so well narrated that if you have the chance to listen to it, listen to it. But if you have read it, and if you've read any of these books that I've reviewed so far, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know what you think of these. And I still have like 4 more to go. But like always, if you guys like horror, if you like watching the content I share with you here on the channel, don't forget to give me a like, share, and a subscribe right there. Hit that subscribe button. But I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. Since I have listened to it, I did purchase the hardback copy, and it was quite the read. That little boy, Jericho Dodd, is a character I will never forget. And the bugs and the whole thing with the Tupelo honey, yeah, it was, it's a disturbing small town horror novel. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. So the next one I want to talk to you guys about, I read this on May 8th. It's right here. It was Her House First by Cherie Priest. Came out July 22nd of last year. And I don't know how many pages it has because it doesn't say it here on the page. But the average rating is 3.7 on Goodreads. I'm going to read to you the book description. Ronnie doesn't know it yet, but her fate rests in the hands I'm gonna see if I can do this without my glasses. But her face, I can't. Nope. It's just that I get this friggin' reflection. But her face rests in the hands of the dead. Silent film star Vanita Ross, malevolent spirit, lurks spider-like in her cliffside mansion, a once beautiful home that's claimed countless unlucky souls, and she's not alone. Snared in her terrible web, Inspector Bartholomew Sloane, her eternal nemesis, watches her wreak havoc in helpless horror, shackled by his own guilt and Vanita's unrelenting wrath. Now the house has yet another new owner. This time it's Ronnie Mitchell, a grieving woman who buys the rundown place sight unseen. She arrives armed with an unexpected inheritance, a strong background in renovation, and a blissful ignorance regarding the house's blood-soaked history. But her arrival has stirred up more than just dust and decay. In the shadows, unseen eyes watch. Then a man comes knocking. He brings wild stories and a thinly veiled jealousy, as well as a secret connection to the house that can only lead to violence. Vanita's fury awakens and a deadly game unfolds. Caught between a vengeful ghost and a ruthless living threat, Ronnie's skepticism crumbles. The line between living and dead isn't as sharp as it seems, and she realizes too late that in Vanita's house, survival might be just an illusion. Okay, I'm going to read you what I wrote. Yeah, here's what I wrote. Wow, this book started out really, really interesting. Then tanks big time right into Puget Sound. Having seen so many well to good reviews about this, I thought I'd give the author a go. This is the worst written wannabe haunted house book to be written and based in Seattle, where I'm from. Yeah, where I'm from. The author takes an overdone and well-used trope, the old scary and maybe haunted house that was used in a possible Hollywood murder mystery from the early days of film, and sends it straight to hell. The book has the most rushed and stupid ending that maybe she was using the same stuff the character Ronnie was using in the book. Cannot and would not recommend this to anyone. Don't waste your time. I did already for you, and I really had some hope for this as it was set in West Seattle, where I used to live. 1.5 for the Seattle setting, nothing else. Yeah, this didn't work because they talk about Seattle, they talk about Puget Sound, but then it's supposed to have been the home of a Hollywood murder mystery. Yeah, Vanita Ross was supposed to be a Hollywood silent film star. This book was silent. It started out so good, and then, oh my God, it becomes so stupid that every time that somebody thinks they can hear or see what they think is Vanita Ross, it is so comically played that it was like taking So I Married an Axe Murderer and putting it with Burnt Offerings. Yes, I know both movies were filmed in the same place, Dunsmuir Mansion here in San Francisco, but this was terrible. Can't recommend it. Nope. Don't waste your money. If you already have it, read it. If you've read it, leave me a comment what you thought. I didn't like it. I just thought it was dumb. The next one. So this next one came out August 26th of 2025. I picked it up after I finished, I finished It Was Her House first. I picked up this one because I loved the author's first book. This is Welcome to the Ghost Show by J.W. Ocker. Ocker wrote 12 Nights at Rotter House. Fucking loved that book. Scared the hell out of me. So this one, I'm going to show you. Here's the cover. Very cool cover. Very cool cover. I love a good YA novel. I don't care if it's YA or even a children's book. If it's got a good storyline, if it's written well, and if it's creepy, I'll read it. I like them. Let me see. So the average rating on Goodreads is a 3.54. Here's the book description. The ghost show is coming. Are you ready? Three friends must face their deepest fears in a spine-tingling horror novel by USA Today bestseller author J.W. Ocker. It's perfect for fans of R.L. Stine and Mary Downing Hahn. I love Mary Downing Hahn. I've read every book she's ever written, and I loved them. There was only a couple I gave a 3-star rating to, but when mysterious ads for the ghost show appear around town, nobody can tell what it is. A band, a movie, a game, but that magic word ghost excites Hazel Gold, or Zell to her friends. As founders of her school's creepy club, 3 members strong, she's always looking for paranormal activity. Turns out the ghost show is a black 5-starry skull that appears on the edge of town as a supernatural attraction. Too much like Ghostland. Stepping inside, the creepy club is greeted by the eccentric Amadeus Everest Manser, a self-proclaimed ghost catcher who guides them through an aquarium full of vaporous, floaty things, sheets that cover gobs of dripping red goo. Then Manser offers Zell what she's always wanted the chance to see, a real ghost. But it turns out to be more than she's bargained for. To stop him, the creepy club must fight a massive ghost infestation and free the trapped souls within, culminating in chilling battle that blurs the line between reality and the supernatural. Had 224 pages. Here's what I said. This was not on the top of J.W. Ocker's books. In fact, not at all. Though I am an adult, I do like all forms of fiction, scares, and horror. I have enjoyed most of Ocker's previous works. However, this one was not one of them. The tale started out like you think it is going to be, one of those Halloween season, creepy small town tales of kids disappearing, etc. Not in this one. It actually became really silly and stupid about halfway through. I only spent 4.5 hours listening to it, so you would not have to. Can't recommend it. I say skip it. Sorry. 2 for the look out your curtain scene. There is a look out of your curtain scene where 2 of the kids, they're talking on the phone, and he does tell her to look out of her curtain in her bedroom. That's the one thing I'm going to say. That scene and the whole book, just read that scene and yeah, you know what that book's going to be like. So yeah, I can't recommend that one. The next one, wow, this is going longer than I thought it would. This one is from 2023. It's by Kate Alice Marshall. 240 pages. This is extra normal right here. Yeah, it's got that R.L. Stine kind of drawn cover. I'm gonna wrap this up quick. So I know, yeah, right. This one, like I said, it has a 4.05 average rating on Goodreads. This is the book description. It's hard to fight the supernatural when you're naturally unsuper. This chilling middle grade is perfect for fans of Stranger Things and scary stories to tell in the dark, even if they don't have any special powers. Charlie Greer is nothing special, at least not compared to her adopted siblings. Her younger sister is a ghost. Her brother Mateo is a werewolf. Gideon is the product of seriously sketchy experiments that gave him telekinetic powers. Even her parents, though, worked for the Division of Extra Normal Investigations, tracking down all things supernatural, alien, and otherwise unusual. Charlie's mom says her superpower is maturity, which doesn't really count, but what Charlie lacks in powers, she makes up for by keeping the household running. Now with her parents off on their first vacation in years, it's up to her to take care of her siblings and make sure nothing disrupts their parents' trip. But then the new neighbors arrive. The Weavers are a nice, normal couple. Too nice and too normal, though. And for some reason, they don't seem to want Charlie to see inside their house. She's certain they're hiding something. Charlie has to uncover what's going on with the Weavers and stop their plans without letting Mom and Dad find out anything is wrong. Okay, here's what I said. It would have been a full 5-star read for me had the author brought in the crystal storyline. I'm not going to say anything else more about that. I have no problems at all with reading YA books, especially when they are great. And I have read a lot of those. I really thought this was going to be one of those ones that I loved. Not really. At around the 80% mark, Marshall brings in and changes the creepy factor, and that was really working in my opinion, because the author was doing such a good job of the creep factor and you wondering what was going on, that there were a couple scenes in this book that actually gave me goosebumps. But she brings in a stupid sci-fi storyline that kind of ruined the end for me. I cannot recommend this one. I do give it 2 screeches for the attempt. This book started out so much fun, so yeah. But hey, I did round it up to 3 stars, but I wouldn't read it again. I would recommend it for like a 4th to 7th grade reader. It was fun. It was really, really fun till, like I said, about the 80% mark. So the next one I read on May 13th, this came out August 7th, 2007. Has 386 pages. It's this right here, The Vanishing by Bentley Little, and my copy is right there. Now, I have read this book before. It's been a long, long time. Now, I'm going to read to you what the back of the book says. It says, in Beverly Hills, a wealthy CEO goes on a bloody rampage and videotapes the slaughter. He leaves behind a chilling cryptic message. This is where it begins. Miles away, an alarmed mother receives from her estranged husband an unsettling letter stained with bloody fingerprints. And all across California, children are falling victim to a monstrous change, and their parents to a mounting fear. Social worker Carrie Daniels and reporter Brian Howells are determined to find the link between these baffling events, but they shouldn't look too deeply into the lives of the victims. It's quite dark there, and God help them, they won't like what they find. Now, I'm gonna read to you what I wrote. With being a huge Bentley Little superfan, this was the strangest book he has ever written, in my opinion. California in the 1800s was on a gold rush boom, and let me tell you what, that was not all that was going on in the Golden State. John Sutter was building a fort, yes, Sutter's Fort, downtown Sacramento, right here where I live, was building a fort and battling demons that are screaming in the night. Bentley Little's The Vanishing is probably the most strange and disturbingly graphic and most bizarre of all of his books I've ever read. And that is over 14 of them. Well, actually, I've read 17 of them. I thought when it originally came out that his book, The House, was his best, and still it is in my opinion. However, this has got to be the most sexually graphic and disgusting of all of his works. California modern day. Multi-mega millionaire men are going on murder sprees and torturing their victims. But they all have something in common besides being rich. They're physically deformed in the most sickening and disturbing ways. In ways that will make you never ever forget them. Especially when you are being romantic. Yes, next time you're being romantic with whoever it is, after you read this, you're never going to look at sex the same way again. The sex, cannibalism, and bestiality in this book is so graphic that if you have a problem with or have never read about graphic sex like that, both with humans as well as animals and inbred creatures before, do not read this. Yes, I'm telling you, if you have a problem with that kind of stuff, do not read this book. It's actually... yeah, do not read this. I like this book as having fun in a disturbing and kind of monster movies of old ways. But the ending was terrible, very rushed. Yes, the last 4 pages, God, what was he thinking? He could have had such a better ending. If you decide to read or listen to this, as I did this time, do not go into it unaware. I'm giving it a 4.5, sickening scream. Yeah, the rushed ending just kind of stopped it from me giving it a 5-star review. Now, the last one is a 5-star review. This one, I think we've all read this. If not, you really need to read it. So, and I have 3 copies. I don't have as nice a copy as Tammy Ellis does. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Tammy Ellis has a beautiful, beautiful 50th anniversary hardback edition with blood-covered, sculpted end pages. It's the most beautiful book. She got it at a used bookstore. This is 1974's Jaws. Yes, this is Peter Benchley's Jaws. Now, I'm gonna. We all know what this story is. Here's the cover. Jaws is the classic blockbuster thriller that inspired the 3-time Academy Award-winning Steven Spielberg movie and made millions of beachgoers afraid to go into the water. Experience the thrill of helpless horror again, or for the first time. Jaws was 48 in the American Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Movies, and the film earned the coveted #1 spot on the Bravo Network's 100 Scariest Movie Moments countdown. This book, I am telling you what, this book is a classic. If you've only seen the movie and never read the book Jaws, you really need to read the book. The book is so much better than the movie. The story of these 4 characters, Quint, Brody, his wife Ellen, and Quint and Matt, not Matt. Yeah, Matt. The book version is just so much more intense. If you've never read the book, you really need to pick up a copy. But if you really want a great thrill, listen to it, because it is so perfectly narrated. It is so well done that it will just, it'll bring back the terror and the horror of the first time you ever saw the movie. And I remember seeing the movie, oh my God, the summer of 1975 when it came out. We waited in line at the drive-in for almost 4 hours. It was sold out. If they were selling tickets for the 11:40 show at the drive-in, and instead of letting people stay and watch the drive-in movie again, they cleared out the entire drive-in because sales and the money that this movie was making was so phenomenally successful and huge. It was crazy. But be warned, there is a very graphic sex scene in there that I remember reading it when I was 13 years old, and I thought, wow, this is porn. This is porn. But it's not a pornographic novel. It is a thriller, suspense thriller at the top of its form. So you guys, I'm done with this. So you guys, thanks again for taking time out of your day to watch and listen. But this coming weekend is Memorial Day. If you are celebrating it in a special way in remembrance of somebody, just keep a smile on your face. Keep that positive memory, and everybody that has served, any kind of service. Just everybody have a great, safe, fun Memorial Day, and it is the start of summer. I will see you at the beach. And actually, right now, there are shark attacks. Yeah, we had 2 here in California. There's been a couple that they've been targeting in close calls on the East Coast. So hey everybody, this is Richard with Nightmares Anyone. I'll see you at the beach. Don't forget to pick up a good scary book. It's great to have nightmares. It keeps the pumper going. But once again, take care everybody. I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one.